What's going on, everybody? This is a donation request. This is for Brad Hart. This is Brad Hart's song off of his album, Notes Like Ghosts. This is the song Blanket, and we are going to check this out. I already got into a ton of the information in the last video, so this one, let's just get to the music. All right, song Blanket. Let's do it. Bam. All right, that drum machine and the Mellotron. Yeah.
Of snow, a blanket of sorrow, an arrow's worth of tension on the bow. Echoes from the wood, echoes finally understood. Start by hearing hearts remove your hood. Cover me, discovery.
This one already is more dynamic.
Hearts that ache their songs internally.
I like the percussion stuff in the back. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. How it just comes in and out.
Witness to the fortitude of change.
Yeah, he's a drummer. Yeah, I like it.
Discovery. Uncover hearts that ache their songs internally. Shoes on the wall, feet to the fire, hearts burn down with dark desire.
It's big Phil Collins moment.
Cover me, discovery. Uncover hearts that ache their songs eternally.
Yeah, I like all the drum percussion stuff. That's very cool. Yeah, this one's way better, in my opinion. Right? This one's way better, way better. And yeah, the drums and percussion stuff is really, to me, what makes it. The chorus is it's just like uplifting, right? I mean, right off the bat, just way more dynamics and movement to it. The drums, I mean, you're a drummer and a percussionist, and that's pretty clear. You know, I mean, that makes that part of it strong. Yeah, it's kind of like early on, I could very easily get a good bass sound because I'm a bass player, right? So it's like when I first started learning how to record and doing it myself and all that, getting a bass sound and getting the bass in a recording to sound good, just the low end, that was the first thing that people were like, oh yeah, your low end sounds good. You know, like the bass sounds great. And it's like, yeah, That's what I've been like. I have to make the bass sound great everywhere I go, right? On all these gigs, thousands of gigs that I've done, you know, and all the record, like all of it, you know. So it's just to get it to sound good recording. It's like I know what it should sound like, and also my ears have been paying attention to it in recordings for so long that it's like I know how it should sound. You know. Anyways, so the fact that the drums and the percussion stuff sounds good and it's interesting and it kind of like, right, makes sense because you're a drummer. But also I like it on here. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. I like how I just kind of, those different parts would just come in and out. And it kind of gave it this this interesting motion to it. And I like the chorus just because it was the dynamic part, right? It was the high point of the song. It was very uplifting. Yeah, I like that. Dig it. Because, yeah, without any of that kind of stuff, even just thinking about the last song that we did and then this one and also all the stuff that I read, right, in the last video, the Mellotron itself and all those just like keyboards, you need to be careful with keyboards and just anything that's like that because it can sound very flat, right? It's just if you're just playing, right, you're just playing it, you need to, it's not you playing the instrument like that. It's just different. You know, it can sound very flat. I mean, that's just the word that I have. It just sounds like lifeless, right? It can sound lifeless, like it's just there. It's just the bed, it's just there, as opposed to sounding dynamic and alive. So there's like more work needs to be put into them. You know, obviously, if you're a keyboard player, you already know how to do things, right? You already know how to work with it and how to do it and make it alive. But I talk about that even on Yes, you know, even on these Yes recordings. It's like, yeah, Rick Wakeman sound like, yeah, he's incredible, but he just doesn't get the feeling out of it, right? Where other players do, you know? So it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, you're just playing it, right? And you're obviously incredible, but I don't feel it. I don't feel the human behind it. So when this song first came on, right, and it hits you with the melody, right, it comes in with your Mellotron, and it comes in with your drum machine again, all that. Just hoping for the human to come out, and it totally did in this. Totally did it in this. Yeah. And there was more things that came around to support the pad, which we're calling the Mellotron here, right? The pad, where I didn't feel like that was happening so much in the last song. It was like it was just that, and that's it. Yeah, this was good. I like this one. Definitely like this one. I can't say that I've heard enough to call it, you know, nostalgic or whatever. You know, that's more just like having to do with the instruments. You're using a drum machine that sounds like it could be Sly Stone, right? Or, you know, anything that, you know, I'm thinking like early 70s, right? Sly Stone, Fresh, something like that. It's 1973, 74, 72. And then a Mellotron, which you already mentioned, you know, Strawberry Fields, right? Yeah, sounds cool. I like this one for sure. And I would say, you know, and this being a first album type of deal, this is your, you know, every single track, every single recording that you make ever is learning, right? And okay, all right, this is, and especially as you look back, you know, so everything that I do is trash when I look back. I mean, not fully. There's stuff that I like better than others, for sure. But especially my first recordings, you know, and all that, it's like, oh man, I could do some of this stuff so much better. But I'm not going to go back and redo it because that's not I'm not like going back to edit stuff like that. You just make new and try and make better. And that's all. And that includes the process. So it's like, okay, I need to make sure that this, you know, has more dynamics, that this feels like it's, you know, that it has more of a curve to it, right? We're talking about peaks and things like that. That this doesn't feel so static, unless I suppose that's the point of it. Like if you're trying to get something to sound or feel monotonous because the point is monotony or something like that, you know, in terms of like concepts like that. Yeah, because doing things yourself, whatever part of the process it is, compared to working on other people's projects is different. Because when you're working on other projects, you know, right? As you know, working on other people's projects, you have a role to play. And it could be a role that you've been doing forever, right? Like for me, bass playing, right? It's like, okay, I've been playing bass for decades. So I can come in and I can just knock this out. Or things like production, because I have experience producing. So it's like, okay, I have my ideas of producing. And I have, you know, like my concepts and I have my kind of viewpoint of it, right? And the more you do it, the bigger your viewpoint gets and the more you check, right? All that kind of thing, where that was a lot smaller when I first started doing it. And you kind of grow and you learn by doing. And the more you do, the more you kind of get other ideas and have other concepts and things like that and other viewpoints. I forget why I was saying all this. I forget my point in saying all this. Yeah, it's just a constant, you know, it's a constant learning. And music is subjective, right? We know this. This is among the reasons why I think it's hilarious when people say that, you know, they don't like my opinion. It could be anybody's opinion. It doesn't need to be me. But obviously I'm on here doing this. So it's like, yeah, you don't know, you don't like my favorite song. So you don't know what you're talking about. That's hilarious. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so it's just what it is. Everybody's got their tastes and how things, and also where they're coming from, which is a big thing. Because, you know, I mentioned Sufjan Stevens in the other video. People may not know who that is. No idea. No idea who Sufjan Stevens is and what his music sounds like. And I don't even know what all of his music sounds like. I only had like two or three albums of his. So that could be anybody. And I certainly don't know. I can't say that I know French cabaret jazz. I know jazz, cabaret. Do I know French? I try and stay away from that stuff. Anyways, I'm joking around. Yeah, that's that. I really like this one. There you go. Very cool. If you guys want to check out the album, I'll put all that in the description. Definitely check it out. Check out Brad Hart. All right, awesome. Fellow Canadian. I'm not Canadian, but a lot of you people maybe. Anyways, all right. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.